Hey guys, Gamer of Gamers here with another episode of Touhou 11. You probably noticed that I've been uploading episodes of this less often, and I think that's because I'm reaching that point to where there are other games I'm wanting to get to, and I myself am just reaching a point to where I feel like because I'm stuck on the same stuff all the time that I'm beginning to slowly lose interest in Touhou, and I don't want it to get to that point, but I do feel like that unless I can start making some actual forward progress, I'm going to be stuck on the same stuff over and over again. That's the kind of stuff to where it's fun for a while, but it's starting to wear off on me. It's one of those things to where you're stuck on the same stuff, and it just always feels like you're never making any forward progress. That's what it feels like to me right now. It feels like I'm not getting anywhere with this, no matter how many times I do this. And it just leaves me in a position to where I feel like I really need a break or something. And so it's most likely that you're going to be seeing a lot less Touhou uploads, or at least not as often as I normally upload Touhou videos, because we've been stuck on this one for kind of a while. Unless I can start scoring myself some good endings at some point, would I be good? Because I'm just at the point to where it's like, I have to do this, still have to get the good ending 5 more times for everything. And this is like one of the easier modes. I'm very much not looking forward to some of the other shot types. I mean, from a story standpoint, the interactions I'm sure will probably be neat, even though I've probably viewed them at least once before. It'd be nice to retrace my memory and what those conversations were about, but I myself, from a gameplay standpoint, and am getting kind of tired of this and am ready to move on. So I know the video that I initially uploaded, I don't think Freezing Time ever saw the one I said about me being bored, but I am at that point where I'm thinking, if I'm gonna be stuck on this, I may think about taking a break. If you're still wanting me to make Touhou content as often as I previously have, which is like the usual once a week, I think I'm gonna have to. I'd want to consider moving on to some of the other games. I won't be moving forward. I can either go back to the original first 5 games that are no longer canon and see what, Touhou used to be like before the generations I've been playing so far. I could also start looking into some of the spin-off content. I don't think I'll be looking into any fan-made content yet until I finish all of the official content. I also remember I never did a proper Let's Play of Touhou 9, even though, yeah, that one technically is a different gameplay style. That's a lot less fairer than the Touhou games I've played thus far. So, a lot to think about, and I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on my idea of just taking a break from this for a little while and moving on to some other games. Just to keep things a bit fresh, and I'm not stuck with all my videos just of me being stuck on the same stuff over and over again. Because I'm sure not only are you bored of the same content, but I myself am getting bored of going through the same stuff over and over again, never seeming to make any kind of forward progress. And though I may be developing, I'm just reaching that point to where it's like, from a story standpoint, I want something new, and I can't get to any new story stuff until I get more good endings. And it's just something that's kind of getting on my nerves. So I'd like to hear from you guys and see if you're alright with me just occasionally moving on to some other games. Because if you're wanting me to stick with this game, then expect to see Touhou videos a bit less often, since my motivation to play this game is beginning to deteriorate. And yeah, I would still like to continue getting all the good endings in each game before moving on to the next one. I still would like to stick with that pattern, as much as possible. Oh, what is this? Oh, what? Similar to last time, expect me to be very silent throughout this episode, but yeah, this will probably be like the breaking point for me to where, like, if I can't get anywhere with this run, or if, like, I still die to that one really stupid attack at the final boss, I think I'm going to be at the point where I'm just going to be ready for a break. That I'm going to want to start playing some other Touhou games, and I know that's kind of a disappointment, but it is technically not the first time I've done something like this, where I just take a break from the Touhou game I'm currently on and move on to a different one. It was like that back when I played the first, played Touhou 7 and 6, where I initially altered how I went about those two titles, but that was only because I was still new to the franchise. Now that I'm a bit more skilled and have some more experience, I would think I'd be able to do this one, like, eventually continue to make forward progress in each video. That's how it's always been, but seeing how it's not being like that, and that I keep having the same trouble in every episode, I am at the point where I'm ready to move on to some new stuff, because my motivation to play this game in particular is going down. So, you know what? I don't even think I'm going to ask for your guys' opinion. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at either some of the spin-off content, like some like the Touhou games where their numbers go into the decimals, along with also, I'd say, also taking the time to play, like, the first 5 Touhou games. They're probably going to be a little bit difficult to set up since they're PC 98 games, but at this point I see playing some of those games being a bit more worth it than what I'm playing right now, because I'm starting to get tired of the same old, same old. So, say what you want. You can try to beg for me to not move on to one of the earlier games or a spin-off game, and try to continue focusing my efforts towards this game in particular, but if that's the case, then it worries me that this may be the game that if I just keep doing this one game, that it's going to cause me to lose interest in the entire franchise. Get where I'm coming from? So with that being the case, I think I'm not even going to ask for you guys' thoughts. I'm ready to move on to something else. And whether you guys are ready or not, I'm wanting to try out... I want to try out some of the older Touhou games. That's what I'm in the mood for, because I hear some of the older games, despite the fact that Zun doesn't really, want to think about those games anymore, nor does he really seem to give them any kind of appreciation these days. It would at least be interesting to see, like, what it is about those games that maybe some fans still enjoy going back to the classic PC. Why did I use bombs there? So yeah, maybe I'll take some time later to set that all up and stuff, because right now, I'm at a breaking point where I'm ready to play something else. Say what you want, but you ain't convincing me to keep playing this game after I've had to put up with so much of this nonsense that... Oh my goodness, this thing is following me so much. Okay. Thank you. No. Why are you all the way over there? No, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I only wanted to do that so I could get the extension, because I was running out of time there. I hate this phase. I hate this phase so much. Ha! A little bit of drag from the dolls. Take that. I can't take much of this anymore, guys. I'll keep going on this one run, but I'm at the point where I'll see about trying to go for like a bad ending or something, but I am at a point to where I'm ready for this to just be done. So I am at my wits' end. I'm just ready to be done. That's all. I honestly tried, guys, and I put in a good effort. I really did. Like, there were lots of instances in these playthroughs where I truly felt like I might have had a chance, but every time, either I mess something up, or the game throws something at me that it just feels like it's less about skill and more about luck. Like that one first spell card that the final boss unleashes, which that attack still gets on my nerves. I can't seem to find much of a pattern. Whatever pattern there is, it feels mostly luck-based that I should just bomb my way through that one. There's just so many things I'm not liking about that final battle, and losing lives early on, like in that one moment, it just irritates me more and more to the point that I'm just slowly inching closer to the moment where I'm just ready to just be done at this point. And I don't want to be done. I want to keep at it and eventually start to get some more good endings. But I can't get more good endings if I keep losing to the same stuff and never seeming to figure out the patterns. Ah! I could tell that thing was about to cheap shot me. What did I get hit by there? I couldn't even see what I got hit by there. Then again, I was moving pretty quickly because I somehow seem to have forgotten the pattern here. Even though I feel like this one should just involve slight... It's these streaming attacks that keep catching me off guard. Normally I'm able to... I don't remember there being stream attacks so often on that part. See, that's another reason why I feel like I'm ready for a break. Because somehow I'm like... It feels like I'm losing experience as well. I don't want to feel like I'm getting dumber by playing this game. I want to feel like I'm gaining skill, not feel like I'm losing skill. At least I've pretty much figured out how to beat this boss at this point. This is one of the few bosses where it's like, I pretty much got their pattern down to a T at this point. Why me? Just... Why me? That's it. I'll finish this run. I at least made it this far, so I should at least give you guys the respect of finishing it before. But yeah, next game over. I'm ending it here. I'm just too upset to play this game at this point. There's just... It feels like I'm getting worse at this game. I don't want to feel like I'm getting worse at this game. I've gotten worse. I've gotten worse. And I don't like it when, you know, when it comes to challenging games. They test your skill. They give you some time. Sometimes you need to take a bit of trial and error. I played plenty of games like that. This game, in particular, compared to the previous Touhou games, feels like less of a challenge and feels more like it's luck-based. Like, a lot of these attacks, like, it always feels like the pattern is different than from the previous time I've done it on previous runs. And if there's one thing I don't like when it comes to games that's, like, tests your skill, it's the games that are just all luck. 2, 1, and of course I use spell card. At this point, I feel like the game is just pressing my buttons, and I'm just stuck forever getting nowhere. I will admit, I am at the point where I am at the last straw, and I'm ready to move on, without caring about what you guys may have to say or recommend. I don't care if whatever I move on to next is considered more challenging than this. At least I'm sure whatever I do next will feel more like it's skill-based, rather than feeling like there's a lot of luck involved with attacks where it doesn't feel like it has any sort of pattern to them. As long as there's a pattern, you know, it should be simple to figure out, yet it always feels like either the pattern's changing, or there's just too many attacks where it's just pure chaos, and that there is no pattern for me to figure out, so I'm just left to figure out from instincts alone, and clearly my instincts are not well built up to handle this. So, oh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm not even gonna make it to the final boss at this point. But yeah, this episode is like the tipping point for me where I'm just ready to move on. I don't care if you guys specifically want me to stay at this game, it's either I move on, or I risk the possibility of losing interest in this entire franchise. And I don't want to lose interest in this franchise. I do, in fact, like this franchise. It's good, has nice challenge, inspires me to want to consider maybe taking on some other challenging games, like maybe Dark Souls or something, or whatever other challenging games may be out there that are skill-based challenges. So in a sense, I'm in a position to where I don't want to move on to anything else, and yet here I am, like, feeling like I have no choice but to move on because nothing seems to want to work. And everything keeps feeling different on me, leaving me to feel like I don't have skill when I feel like I should have skill. This game is hurting me. This ain't a game about skill anymore. This is just pure torture is what it is. I didn't even make it to the boss on this stage. My goodness. Nope. Sorry, everyone. I'm ready to be done. I don't care what you say. So, sorry, but I'm ready to just... No, I don't even want to retry. I just want to return to the title screen at this point, because I need a break from this game. A long break. Maybe once I have regain a bit of compassion for this franchise through playing some of the other games, maybe then I'll come back to this game once I get up to that point. But for now, I'm ready to just take it easy. So say what you like in the comments. I'm moving on to a different game. I won't skip ahead to the later on game, since I would like all the story from this game first, which does require me to get all the good endings, despite me not wanting to play this game anymore. I'm willing to put up with it, but for now, I'd like to check out at least like some of the earlier content that I didn't get to because it's not canon and requires a bit more effort to set up on this computer. I'll see how that... I'd like to start out with the original 5, and then maybe I could always do something else, like make some recordings of me getting the other good endings in Touhou 6, because while I've obviously made sure of the fact that I've done those on my own time, I could see maybe that could also restore some of my enjoyment of this franchise by going back to that game and make proper recordings of me getting the other good endings. That's always something I can do as well. But this game in particular, specifically this one game right here in the entire franchise, it feels just too annoying for me to handle at the moment that I need a break. So, thank you everyone for watching. And if you really badly want to see me continue with this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay notified of future uploads. And until next time, this is the Gamer of Gamers, and stay excellent, everyone.